Have you ever wondered what the worst way to die could possibly be? Like, out of all the crazy things that happen in this world, there are some deaths that are so strange, so mysterious, and honestly so unbelievable that people are still talking about them years later. With all the surveillance cameras, autopsies, and technology we have today, you'd think every death would make sense. But nope, some cases are so bizarre that even experts can't fully explain what happened. And trust me, these stories aren't just sad. They're unsettling, confusing, almost otherworldly. So today, I'll be showing you the worst, strangest, and most mind-bending deaths ever recorded. The ones that make you question how something like this is even possible. Let's get into it. We all love chocolate, right? But imagine clocking in at work, and your favorite thing in the world suddenly becomes the most dangerous place you could ever be. One wrong move, and everything goes horribly, horribly wrong. Here's the clip.
Svetlana was working at a chocolate factory when she dropped her phone into a vat of chocolate. When she went to retrieve her phone, she accidentally fell into the vat of chocolate. Some reports say she was mixing flour into the vat, but regardless, she still fell inside the container. The vat's mixer meant that Svetlana and staff at the factory say only her legs remained.
That is honestly terrifying. Imagine going to work like it's just another normal day, and something as innocent as chocolate becomes the last place you'd ever expect danger. It all happened so fast, and no one could have predicted it. Stories like this make you realize how unpredictable life really is. The beach is supposed to be the safest, most relaxing place ever. Sunshine, umbrellas, families everywhere. But sometimes, the most harmless-looking objects can turn into something terrifying in just a single gust of wind. And this next story proves exactly that. Here's the clip.
This woman was killed by an umbrella at the beach. Lodi Michelle Beck's tragic death occurred on a bright June day in 2016, as she celebrated her 55th birthday and wedding anniversary with loved ones at Virginia Beach. While the atmosphere was festive, an ominous change in the weather brought strong, unpredictable gusts of wind sweeping across the shore. One of these powerful gusts tore a beach umbrella from its anchoring in the sand. The umbrella, with its pointed end exposed, became an airborne weapon, flying uncontrollably across the crowded beach. Tragically, its flight ended when it struck Lodi with a devastating force. The umbrella's metal tip impaled her directly in the chest, causing catastrophic injuries. Witnesses described the scene as surreal and horrifying. Lodi collapsed to the ground as beachgoers rushed to her aid. Many were too shocked to act, frozen by the unexpected violence of the incident. Emergency personnel were called immediately, and first responders worked tirelessly to save her. But despite their best efforts, the trauma was too severe, and Lodi was pronounced dead at the hospital. A beach umbrella, a benign and common sight on any summer day, transformed into an instrument of death. This remains a chilling reminder of the unpredictable and sometimes violent force of nature.
It's terrifying how something so normal can become deadly in seconds. A simple umbrella, and suddenly, the whole beach is in shock. Nature can turn on you without warning. Factories look so controlled and predictable. Big metal machines, warning lights, safety signs everywhere. But what if one of those machines, the ones you walk past every single day, suddenly became the most dangerous place in the entire building? All it takes is one mistake, and a normal work shift turns into a nightmare. Here's the clip.
This is the exact moment a 62-year-old man was cooked to death. On October 11, 2012, a 62-year-old man named Jose Molina was working his morning shift at Bumblebee's food facility in Santa Fe, California. And his task that morning was to make a quick repair inside a massive industrial oven which was used to cook thousands of pounds of tuna at a time. And while Jose was working inside the oven, a co-worker noticed the oven door open and closed the door without realizing that Jose was inside. The co-worker then filled up the oven with 12,000 pounds of tuna Molina and turned the oven on. Hours later, the manager of the facility noticed that Jose was missing, so they conducted a search. And 2 hours later, they found Jose's body inside of the oven. Jose was fully cooked inside of the oven and died a very tragic and slow death. There's no way Jose could have survived, as the ovens reached temperatures up to 269 degrees Fahrenheit. Bumblebee Foods and 2 managers were later charged with violating safety rules, and Bumblebee Foods ended up paying $6 million in a settlement. $3 million was used to replace the company's outdated tuna ovens, and $1.5 million was awarded to Molina's family. Was this a fair compensation? Let me know in the comments below.
It's terrifying how one simple mistake in a factory can change everything. Machines don't forgive. They don't pause. They don't think. Stories like this show just how fragile our safety really is. Picture a normal supermarket, bright lights, humming freezers, people shopping like nothing's wrong. But hidden behind all that noise was a secret no one noticed. A teenager vanished without a trace, and for years, nobody knew he'd been just a few feet away the whole time. Not until the store shut down and a renovation team uncovered the truth. Here's the clip.
In 2009, a young boy fell behind a refrigerator unit at the supermarket where he worked. He tried to wriggle his way out, but the space was too tight. So he began to scream for help, but the constant noise from the coolers drowned out his cries. For several weeks, his parents searched all over, and even with the help of the police, they still couldn't find him. Until 10 years later, when contractors were remodeling the now abandoned supermarket, they found his decomposed remains wedged behind the refrigerator.
Imagine posters going up, police searching everywhere. Yet the answer was literally behind a supermarket wall. A decade later, the truth finally surfaced. A family hike sounds harmless, right? Beautiful views, photos, fresh air, nothing dangerous at all. But sometimes, all it takes is one tiny slip, one wrong step on a rocky edge, and a perfect family moment turns into a tragedy no one expects. This next story is exactly that. Here's the clip.
Stephanie and her family took a trip to Crowder's Mountain when the trip took a turn for the worst. Stephanie was trying to get the perfect family photo when she lost her footing and fell 150 feet off the cliff. Due to rough terrain and vegetation, it took the rescue team 3 hours to find Stephanie's body. Authorities said Stephanie wasn't doing anything dangerous, she just simply lost her footing and fell.
1 second, you're lining up the perfect photo. The next, the entire trip changes direction. Cliffs, loose ground, and high edges don't give second chances. This story is a tough one. Factories usually run like clockwork. Pipes, valves, labels, everything in order. But when 2 nearly identical lines get mixed up, one small connection can trigger a disaster no one sees coming. In this case, a routine delivery turned into a toxic cloud sweeping through buildings, leaving chaos behind in minutes. All from a single wrong hookup. Here's the clip.
Perhaps the most desperate way to die. These real workplace accidents are horrifying. 6 years ago, a U.S. tanker truck filled with sulfuric acid arrived at a factory. After a brief handoff, the operator left, leaving the driver to unload alone. The sulfuric acid and sodium hypochlorite lines were nearly identical and unlocked. The driver mistakenly connected the acid to the wrong line. When mixed, the chemicals released deadly chlorine gas. A yellow-green cloud erupted from the tank. Before the driver realized the mistake, gas had spread through air ducts into nearby buildings. With gas masks locked away, 143 workers and residents lost their lives, all from a single fatal connection.
One wrong connection, and an entire site was overwhelmed. It's unreal how fast everything unraveled. All right, everyone, that wraps up today's video. Some of these incidents were so surreal it barely feels possible they really happened. Tiny decisions, random accidents, split-second mistakes, and suddenly everything changes. Which story stood out the most to you? Drop it in the comments. I want to see what shocked you the hardest. And before you go, hit like and subscribe. Not just to support the channel, but so you don't miss the next deep dive into stories just as unbelievable as these. Stay sharp out there, and I'll see you in the next one.